nothing but Allah. Ba is the beginning of Bismillah. Ta is for taqwa, bewaring of Allah. And Tha is for Tawwab, a reward. Ja is for Jannah, the garden of paradise. Ha is for Hajj, the blessed pilgrimage. Kha is for Khatam, the seal of the prophethood given to the Prophet Muhammad.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome to our program Learn Arabic. Today it's Daad. How can we pronounce it and how can we write it? That would be our major issue today. In the last episodes we discussed a lot of Arabic letters starting from Alif ending up with Sa. And today we will discuss more about Daad. And I think that today Arabic is described as the language of Daad. That means that Arabic probably is characterized by the language of Daad. I think we can discover and talk more about that after introducing all my guests today. And I'm joined, as always, with Osama from Egypt, Nabil from England, and Khalid from Ghana, and Muhammad from Pakistan. Welcome to all of you. And before moving on here to explain more about the Arabic letters Daad, have you heard or did you experience any difficulty producing or pronouncing such sound before? Sama.
Yeah, I think it's very difficult. This sound on alphabet does not exist in any language, okay? And that is why the Arabic language is described as the language of Daad.
Yep.
Okay, also, we also know that in an authentic hadith, the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam says, "Ana afsahu man nataqa bid-Daad." I'm the most proficient man who can pronounce the sound Daad. Yep. Okay, so I find that it is difficult, okay, because as we will see, the way we produce the sound, okay, I think we don't have the sound in English, for example.
Well, let me start here first of all and say that Daad is classified among the emphatic Arabic letters and sounds.
Yeah.
So that means if you like just to pronounce Daad, it's different from Dal. And here is the point. This letter represents the emphatic counterpart of Dal. It should be low and front of and close to the roof of the mouth. The emphatic consonants in Arabic are pronounced by placing the end of your tongue at your roof ridge and dropping the rest of your tongue as low as you can. Say da and then pronounce the alphabet Da. Can you see that? I think that there is similar features between da and Da.
I think it's very close with pronunciation. Sometimes you can really get confused when some people reciting Quran. Is it saying Daad or Daad?
Right, right. Well, I would say here that is da does have the same features for Da, but Da probably is distinctive because when I say this is emphatic sounds, that means that we have special features in producing the sound. Like for example, the middle of the tongue is lowering down.
Yes.
We have also the back of the tongue probably could be retracted against the alveolar ridge. I mean, something like that probably can happen for a lot of emphatic sounds in Arabic. But anyway, let me just move on here when it comes to Da and how can, well, that is quite interesting. If you just say Da, can you pronounce it, please? Go ahead.
Da.
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 Do you feel any kind of vibration in producing that? Do you have any kind of movement here at your vocal flaps?
Yeah.
Right, exactly. Something like that. That's why it's described as a voice sound. And again, your tip of the tongue should be at your teeth. So we say Da. We don't say Tha. We don't say Ta. And of course, the Ta could be different from Da. We're going to discuss more about Ta in the upcoming episodes. But here now we are with Da, and that's why I described as a voice and alveolar sound. And when it comes here to the manner of articulation, again, we have a kind of friction happening when we produce such sound. So if you just say Da, I guess that there's a kind of friction happening where the air stream is released out from the mouth.
Yeah.
That's why I described as a fricative sound. Very important feature to mention here that such sound in Arabic is an oral sound.
Oral, yeah.
Right, which means that the air stream is coming through our oral cavity, not through our nasal cavity. I think that's quite interesting to learn more about Da here in this way. And as we used to do when it comes to the style of writing and the style of pronouncing such letters, I think that is, Da could be close to what?
Swad.
Yeah, it's close to Da.
Da.
Yeah.
Well, but that is in pronunciation, Sama. But how about when it comes to the writing style?
I think it's
it is
close to
like
Swad.
Sod, but we have a difference here that we put above it a dot.
Right,
Okay,
exactly. I think that is quite important to mention something like that, which is Da, the letter Da is a connector. So that means that such letter actually is combined and connected with the following one. And when it comes to actually in the medial position also, it's connected with the previous letter.
Yeah.
Can you see
It
that?
remains the same sequence which you have in Sin and Sheen.
Exactly,
Yes.
that's absolutely correct. But of course that would be different, for example, from Dal.
Yeah, yeah.
Because in Dal, probably, we don't have, I think we don't have a letter that probably can be connected after right,
Yes.
Dal. But that can be combined with the previous letter, but not after the following one. Is that correct?
Yeah.
I think so,
Yeah,
yep.
I think
The
so.
sound of that also similar with dha.
No,
well,
but
I
I think,
so.
yeah, I don't think so.
I don't think so, Khalid. Here
me
is this
too.
way, Nabil. I think that is
That may be close to ta,
ta, right.
but not to that.
Dha, right. And probably dha could be close to the. Well,
Yeah.
the difference probably could be, again, the emphasis. But anyway, so when I say, yep, Ahmad.
I think when you have words like Wawadana,
Yep.
this is where I think that's really difficult with what I think. I think there's a-
Does that mean that in English, for example, can we find a sound that could be similar to dad in Arabic? If I say, for example, dad,
that.
but if I say dad,
Oh, I think it's more heavy in Arabic
You think
than
so?
in English.
Yeah,
Yeah.
English is very
Right.
light if you said that.
right,
And it depends how you pronounce it. If you that, you force it to be heavy.
Right,
But originally it's that, so
Right.
it's light.
exactly. That's why
And
they
I think it's
describe.
lack of friction as well. That it's very
That.
lack of friction.
I think that is more close to dal in Arabic. Okay.
Okay.
And we can describe dad as heavy or mufakham, but dal is light, or dad is emphatic. Dal is
Non-emphatic.
non-emphatic.
Right, that's
And
right.
the problem that we experience is that when these two alphabets and sounds come together, we have, for example, ضد.
ضد, right? Let me
Yeah.
just write that here, Sam. Here is that. So I would write that here in this way. Is that your point?
Yeah.
Yep.
ضد. Yes.
Yep, that's right.
So I think this is the problem here to us, even for Arabic speakers or native speakers of Arabic. Also do have problems here in pronouncing these two letters when they combine to each other.
I think you are absolutely correct, and probably that is the same example for zal and zay.
Yeah.
Like al-lazina and al-lazina. Can you
yes.
see that?
Yeah.
Exactly. I would be very consistent about this point. I'm very interested in actually distinguishing between dal and dal, between zal and zay,
I
and
think
stuff like that. Yep.
It's easy to distinguish when you reciting one by one.
Yep, that's
Every
right.
Singling out the letters, or when you doing continuously in a fluent way. This is where difficult to single them out. This is very difficult to understand what actually the child is saying. If, for example, if someone speaks and you're writing, it could be difficult to understand is it dal or dad.
Yep, that's right. That's right. Okay, now let's now get back again to the slide here, and it said that this letter is a connector, so that means that such letter actually should be combined with the previous and with the following one. It depends on the position inside the word.
Yeah.
And it retains the same basic shape in both print and handwriting. Well, quite interesting. But that means that we don't have difference. When dog comes in newspapers, when dog comes in your handwriting style,
Yeah.
it's the same shape for saw, and we add just one dot above the letter. Okay. There are two essential points to keep in mind when writing dog. The first one is the loop must be a big and oval shaped, and I think that this is quite important. Here is that. Can you see that? So it's the same like saw. Just remember that. Okay, well, this is the first part, but again, we will have a kind of tail happening. It's the same tail that happened before in sin,
And
sheen,
sheen.
and sad.
Sad.
Probably could be
In
a
Ain.
little bit different in the tail in jim, ha, kha, and ayn.
And I,
Yep,
yeah.
that's
Ayn.
right. Okay, so the loop must be a big and oval shaped, and there must be a small tooth after the loop and putting a dot above it. To write independent dot, start on the line, make a big loop up. Here that in this way. I would say that this is the line here. We are making a kind of a big loop here. Can you see that?
Yeah.
Okay, and after that, and back to your right, then swing down, close it, here in this way. Again, I repeat it again. A big loop, getting back to the right direction. Here is that. Can you see that?
Yeah.
Okay. And without stopping, make the tooth and then drop below the line to make the tail. The tail of dab is the same shape as that of saw. Here is that. Can you see that?
Yeah.
And just one dot.
Dot,
Yeah.
dot, yeah.
And here's the question. Would you ask me about how big is the tail in dot? It depends. Right, but please, if you're just writing dot, don't make that in this way. I mean, don't write that.
I think it's more of a going inside
Yeah.
than going
Right, I
straight
mean,
into